exactly. All right, very quickly, some of you are aware that I have well, it's not mine, it's part of the group of people that are doing this work around the world. There's an online client management system that's been developed by a guy called Tony Hale, he's a coach, but he's also a movie producer in LA, and he's actually producing a movie called Why Am I So Fat? Sounds horrible. I think it's called that, Why Am I So Fat? It's all based on this work, okay? When this movie comes out, my life is going to go mental, because everyone's going to go, where can I get this work done? All right. So it's called Why Am I So Fat? I think it's called. You've got to keep an eye on that. It's dragging on because it's expensive and, you know, COVID problems and stuff like that. But he did the training, and he said, we need a system to be able to manage all this stuff, because otherwise it's so much variables. How do we keep track of this? And he developed, he set up a non-for-profit organization that developed this platform. It's brilliant. Okay. So part of it's a $20, on top of everything else. So the $20 separate, it's not paid to me, it's paid directly to this thing. And this system, I'll just quickly go through. It's used to be able to track, to trend, to be able to learn about stuff, to be able to manage supplementation, to be able to communicate through me and whatnot. But for the purpose of the training, it's going to be really good to be able to keep track of the numbers, because as we go through and we have some live sessions and stuff, well, let's have a look at your coalition. What's going on? Have a look at this. We start to see these patterns. Yeah. Once again, if you look close enough and you look long enough, you're going to see everything, because they eventually show. The patterns start to show. But you can imagine if we're not measuring this stuff, it's like running a business without having KPIs, budgets and stuff. You haven't got a clue what's going on. No money in the bank. Why? I have no idea. Because we're not measuring anything. We're not moving towards anything, all right? And this is what this helps to do. And this is where you really get the true empowerment, because you start to see the patterns. And when I work with clients over a 12-month period on coaching and stuff like that, we see this. And you know, it's so rewarding to be able to talk to a client, and I say after a couple of months or something like that, and they say, oh, you know what happened last week? I felt terrible. I had a headache. I had this, blah, blah, blah. But I can remember what you said. And I measured my sugars. I did this, and I realized that this was out of whack. And I did this, and I did this, and I fixed myself. But you would never have done that if you didn't measure and monitor. All right? Remember, we're like a bowl of chemicals, yeah? Bowl of chemicals with chemistry and energy. If I add something to that right now, it has an immediate effect. If we add something to our body, it has an immediate effect, but we don't look close enough and we don't look long enough to be able to see it. So we wait until it manifests into something, into our conscious, into something we're mindful of. And it might be 6 weeks, it might be 6 years. All right? Everything has an effect. It's being able to understand what that effect is and not waiting 6 months before you found out that it was a negative effect. Okay. Just quickly go through. You can look at this afterwards, right? I'm not going to go into detail here, but here's just an idea. Just some of the pages from the system. You can see pH graphs here, weight graphs, blood pressures, stuff like that. I think they're the same there. And you can imagine starting to see some of these, say for instance, pHs, and understanding, okay, this state, we come right down here, we're inverted pHs here, which is a problem. What caused this? Well, we can look at all the other variables and everything else and understand at the same time what else is going on. We got it. We didn't have to wait 6 months to try and work out a problem that could be worked out immediately. Okay, you have a look at those anyway. Weight graph. This is interesting. This is a real graph. Is it a real graph? Maybe I exaggerated a bit just to make it look really good. But when I work with people over a period of time, which means I am practically applying this work ongoing, like you would yourself once you learn this, what happens is we start to come into balance. If we're overweight, our body will start losing weight. And if we're underweight, we'll start gaining weight. We'll start to normalize. Right? It's amazing to see. I see it all the time. This is why I get so damn excited about this, because it's like, my God, this is so powerful. Even after 10 years, I look at it sometimes and go like, crikey, my God, why isn't this out there more? Why aren't we looking at this stuff? managing subs and stuff like that, imbalances. There's a lot of information on there as well. It's similar to information to what I talk about, but nowhere near as much detail, of course, as well. But, and bloods and stuff like that. So when we do your bloods, we'll get them uploaded to the coalition. So then we're talking, we're having a live session or whatever. Oh, hang on, let's have a look. And can you imagine the power, the learning power of actually, rather than me going like blah, 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 blah for 3 hours, teaching you something about, you know, theory, we've got Joe Blow, he's got a problem. It's a real life example. Let's have a look at the bloods, and we all work through that. And then we start to understand more about the thinking behind why we do certain things. Why do I make this decision and not that decision? What dictates my thinking? Right? You've got to learn that. That's all it is, thinking technology.